We recognise just how hard our public sector workers are working, contributing, doing a vitally important job, and we want to pay them fairly, which is why we've taken the decision to accept the independent peer review body recommendations. But at the same time, the reason that many of them are angry, the reason that we've had strikes, is because they've seen their take-home pay eroded by inflation. And it's vital that we don't do anything in accepting these awards that fuels inflation and means we're having the same disputes this time next year. And so that's why we've taken the very difficult decision to make efficiencies in other parts of government spending in order to make sure that we're not funding these awards by additional borrowing, which would be inflationary. So that's why we've taken this decision.
So to clarify, if doctors and nurses want more pay, patient budgets are going to have to fall. Is that what you're saying?
What we're saying in today's awards is that we want to pay people who are doing a really important job fairly, but we can't fund that award in a way that's inflationary. And so we're not going to fund it by extra borrowing, which doesn't just mean debts for future generations, but will be pumping money into the economy, which would mean that the battle against inflation would take longer. The reason why people are angry, the reason we've had strikes, the reason why many people are worried and concerned is because they've seen their pay eroded by inflation. We've got a plan to bring down inflation. We're going to stick to that plan religiously, because the way that we avoid these very difficult disputes is bringing down inflation so people can see the value of their pay going up.
Final one. On GDP, a fall in GDP, some economists are saying the economy currently is listless. There is no growth in the UK economy. What are you going to do about that?
The path to long-term growth for the economy is to tackle inflation. And the figures from month to month, sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. But what we want to do is to move to sustainably higher growth going forward so we can pay for the NHS, our schools, and so on. That means, first and foremost, bringing down inflation from its current levels, which are just too high. We're going to do what it takes for as long as it takes to deliver that. Then after that, you can see from the investments that are starting to happen all over the country, we have a path to a much brighter future.
The economy has shrunk by 0.1%. Is this the start of a long, painful recession for the UK?
I think we recognise that it's a difficult time for businesses up and down the country, and we want to be growing at a faster rate. But in order to do that, we have to tackle inflation. That is the battle that has to come first, and we will focus all our energy on that, because if we can tackle inflation, we can unlock the key to much healthier growth going forward.
But this is the start of a recession, isn't it, Chancellor?
I don't think you can interpret too much from 1 month's figures. What I think we can see is the economy has been more resilient than many people predicted, but if we want long-term sustainable growth, then we have to win the battle against inflation, and that is the Prime Minister and my #1 priority.